Lions are 4-1. They win again in convincing fashion over the Panthers. Let's do a post-game pod.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
How we doing, everybody? Matt Derry with you on a Sunday, October the 8th. The Lions win again. 4-1 start is their best since 2011 as they knock off the Carolina Panthers today, 42-24, down at Ford Field. Again, Matt Derry with you. Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Little bonus edition of Locked On Lions today, our post-game podcast. Thank you for watching and subscribing on YouTube if you're watching. Thank you for listening wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there. Everybody that tweeted to me today, at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, Kevin Malik, Anthony Pavicic, all the crew, all the guys, girls, everybody out there that's watching and listening. Thank you for doing so. Lions win again today. Let's recap this one this afternoon from down at Ford Field. And it was a game that I was concerned about coming in because Amon-Ra St. Brown out, Jahmyr Gibbs out, Brian Branch out. Will there be a letdown? Would there be a letdown from last week's win over Green Bay? And there wasn't. The Lions defense came up big, 3 first half takeaways, led to 3 touchdowns. All right. This wasn't just, recover a fumble with Will Harris and kick a field goal. No. The Lions went for the jugular and went up quickly, went up early, went up often, took care of business today, bothered Bryce Young and the Panthers, held Carolina below 100 yards rushing. Remember last year what Foreman and Hubbard did the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson made big plays, and the Lions are 4-1. All right. Their run defense, in terms of yards allowed through 5 games, it's the best it's been since 1939. 1939. And I know the schedule's not that difficult right now. And I know they're facing quarterbacks that aren't that good. And the NFC is weak. But who cares? You play who's on your schedule and you handle your business. And that's exactly what the Lions did today in winning 42-24. So we got a lot to do on the show. I want to get into the ground game, the running, the run offense, the Ben Johnson play calling, the quarterback situation has been fantastic for this team. Defense once again coming up big. And we'll hand out some game balls as well right here on Locked On Lions. Hey, the return of Jameson Williams today. Okay. Hey, at least he can block. If there's one thing about Jameson Williams, he can block. He's a good blocking wide receiver. The rest of it, we'll have to wait and see. But that drop today on second down, which then led to the Lions having a punt where basically if J-Mo catches that ball and turns upfield, he scores, was not good. But look, the Lions it didn't matter. All right. Jared Goff is playing at a high level right now. And what I love about this team, and I want to get to Goff in a second, but let's start with what the running game is doing right now. This was probably the best moment of the season for me. Did anybody see when Craig Reynolds had a long run of like 19 yards and he was going to come out of the game, and David Montgomery on the sidelines was waving, stay in the game. This is a guy in David Montgomery that is so unselfish. He wanted his teammate to stay out there. He wanted him to get a touchdown. And it turned out Craig Reynolds later in that drive in the fourth quarter to put the game away, got the touchdown. Come on, Craig. Come on, Craig. He got it. But like to watch the starter, tell him to stay in the game, be happy for him. And after the game, they asked David Montgomery, best moment of the game. He said, best moment of the game was watching Craig score a touchdown. Unselfish. But when you got Montgomery rushing for, so this is back-to-back weeks, David Montgomery's been over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown. Last Lions running back to have back-to-back games with a touchdown and 100 yards rushing, Cornbread Jones, Kevin Jones. It was years ago. So the Lions have a nice 1-2 punch on the ground. They didn't even have Jahmyr Gibbs today, and they rushed for 159 yards. They held the Panthers to 99 yards rushing. But if you can run the ball and you can stop the run, you're going to win a lot of games. And the Lions are winning a lot of games. All right. I know Carolina's 0-5. All right. They're horrible. They're horrible. And when Zavala went out injured, it was like, you just knew the Lions were going to dominate the line of scrimmage. They didn't get a ton of sacks on Bryce Young today, just one on that one Hutchinson spin move. But other than that, the Lions were all over the place. All right. Their defense played well. Offense couldn't be stopped. Sam Laporta, another multiple touchdown game. Ben Johnson's calling double reverse flea flickers. And how about that direct snap through the legs of Goff to David Montgomery on the third down that got him a rushing first down? Like, creativity, coaching, execution, creating turnovers. This is what this team has been desperately needing. This franchise has needed for years. All right. They're playing at a high level. And today could have easily been one of those games where the Lions just sort of sleptwalked. They're playing a bad team. I mean, Carolina right now has no wins. I mean, they're the worst team in football. And they've got a rookie quarterback who's probably not as good as the other rookie in Houston and CJ Stroud. They're banged up. They don't really have a number one receiver, although Adam Thielen had a really good game today. But regardless, it's not a good Carolina team. You saw Brian Burns on the sidelines today at one point, just barking at his teammates. He was unhappy, threw his helmet down. There's frustration there. And Frank Reich has not done a good job out of the gate. Carolina was not supposed to be good. Don't get me wrong. But 0-5, nobody thought this. They've got some good young talent on that team. And the Lions just, again, kind of, just like Michigan did to Minnesota last night, just kind of zap the energy from outside, from the opponent. And again, like I said, if you can run the ball, which the Lions did today, and you can stop the run, you're going to do a lot of good things. And how nice was it to see at the end of the game today, Teddy Bridgewater's out there in victory formation, taking a knee. And the game's over. Both teams go out to the center of field to say, job well done, job better done by your Detroit Lions. 42-24 over the Carolina Panthers today. Lions improved to 4-1. Next week, they'll face Tampa Bay off a bye week in Tampa. First place Bucks were 3-1 at 4:25 for the Fox, highlighted game with Burkhardt and Greg Olsen and Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi. So Lions going kind of in the prime time slot next week against Tampa Bay. But today was great. Jumped out to a 14-0 lead, led 28-10 at the half, was up 28-7 in the first half. Jared Goff, and I want to talk about this. Jared Goff, the Lions have got to sit down with Jared Goff's people soon and get an extension done. All right. I know they've got Hendon Hooker waiting in the wings, and there's so many good quarterbacks in the draft this year. Doesn't matter. The Lions have their guy. If you don't think Jared Goff's the guy, then I don't know what you're watching. His passer rating today was 132.4. He threw 3 touchdowns. He ran for a touchdown. He only missed 8 balls all day, 20 out of 28 for 236. Just efficient. What was the one play when he got Carolina to jump off sides? Free play, goes deep to Josh Reynolds. He's got a knack for doing that once a game. He's spreading the football around. Doesn't even have a deep threat. Today didn't even have Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jahmyr Gibbs. And yet he hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different receivers today for completions. He's playing at a high level. He's leading the team. This is not some 35-year-old at the end of the rope, at the end of the line. This is a guy playing with a chip on his shoulder, making every throw. All right. Doing the little things it takes to win. And just some of the throws today were right on the money. And you can just see the chemistry and the synergy that he has with Josh Reynolds. You can see how much he trusts Khalif Raymond. You can see how much he trusts Sam Laporta. And Ben Johnson trusts him. And if you don't have a quarterback in this league, you're dog crap. Right? We don't know if Bryce Young's going to be good or not. He's too young to be winning games. Right? There's plenty of teams in this league, if you look around, that don't have good quarterback play. Right? The Bears don't have good quarterback play. Right? They had good quarterback play the other day, and they won, but it was like, oh, it's about time Justin Fields delivered. Right? Cincinnati is off to a lousy start. Why? Joe Burrow's rusty. He's not playing well. Right? When Tennessee today needed it against the Colts, they got Ryan Tannehill. He's average. Right? The Saints against Green Bay. Derek Carr gets hurt. They got to bring in Jameis Winston. And the game flipped. Went from 17-0 to 18-17 or whatever it was. New Orleans lost because Jameis Winston stinks. So the Lions have got a quarterback, and they got a quarterback playing at a high level. And you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. All right, follow us on Twitter at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, Matt Derry Facebook fan page, on YouTube. Please subscribe and watch us for free on YouTube on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. The podcast today is brought to you by FanDuel. Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. Big game tonight. You got to put some money down on Dallas and San Francisco. Huge game. Check it out on FanDuel. It's $200 in bonus bets. You can get win or lose. We've been talking about joining FanDuel. If you've been talking about joining FanDuel, I'm there. But if you're not, no better time than to do it right now. The app is easy to use, and there's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, everybody, we got a post-game pod going on right now. Everybody leaving Ford Field, or if you're leaving downtown or wherever you are going and you're listening, thank you for doing so. Lions win today, 42-24 over the Carolina Panthers. Jared Goff throws for 3 touchdowns, runs for another. David Montgomery, 109 yards rushing today, including a 42-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Great block on that run by Jamison Williams. Got to give props to J-Mo for his blocking. Receiving could use some work, but hey, did a nice job today. Craig Reynolds had a touchdown run as well. Welcome, Craig. The Lions cruise to a victory. Carolina today was led by Bryce Young, who had 3 touchdown passes, but 2 interceptions. The one by Aiden Hutchinson I want to talk about in a second. Another one from Jerry Jacobs. Adam Thielen today in a loss. 11 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown. Lions held Chuba Hubbard to 35 yards rushing, and Miles Sanders to 32 yards rushing. Chenault had 27, but another game where the Lions held the opponent below 100 yards rushing. The Lions are only allowing around 130 yards a game on the ground or something like below that. Whatever the number is, Lions rushing yards per game is the lowest it's been through 5 games since the late 1930s. Heard that stat today on the radio broadcast, courtesy of Lions stat legend, Mike Bratta. So that is pretty cool. And by the way, on the Lions radio broadcast, why is the game low? And then every time they go to either Costa in the studio or the commercials, it's blasting. Can we fix that, please? I know there's been some changes on the broadcast, audio wise, but guys, can we fix that so I don't have to turn down the radio every time? But anyway, 42-24 Lions over the Carolina Panthers today. Defensively, again, I mentioned it before, the 3 takeaways. Huge today. You win the giveaway takeaway battle, you're going to be just fine. All right. The Aiden Hutchinson interception. All right. With the Lions up 7-0. Snuffs out a little late screen. Bryce Young looking to his right, tried to dump it off. And here's Hutchinson swooping in with the right paw and making a one-handed interception, then running down the field. And luckily, he got chop blocked down. Luckily, he was fine when he got up and got back in the game. You're holding your breath. But what a play. Seriously, can we give a shout out to Jacksonville? Thank you, Jaguars, for taking Trayvon Walker ahead of Aiden Hutchinson. Thank you. Seriously. I got a pen here. Should I write a thank you note to the Jags? Thank you. Aiden Hutchinson's for real, man. That guy's damn good. Did you see that play? One-handed interception across his body on a screen pass. Just special stuff from Hutch today. That's a play. He just has great instincts, Today, 3 tackles, 3 solos, had a sack, 2 TFLs, a pass defended, and of course the quarterback hit. He was tremendous today. Not a great, maybe, sack day for the Lions defensive line, but, you get the interception with Jacobs, you get the fumble recovery with Harris. McNeil made the hit, and then you get the Hutchinson interception. That's how you beat bad teams. And that was impressive today. And Green Bay plays tomorrow night in Las Vegas. Minnesota's playing as we speak right now against Kansas City, but the Lions are sitting at 4-1 in the division. If Green Bay loses tomorrow, you're looking at 2-3. I mean, the Lions are going to have, a nice cushion here, 2-game cushion here in the division. But the defense was good again today. Like the way Anzalone played. I'm going to give him a game ball a little bit later. 11 tackles today, 8 solos. Got to the quarterback a couple times for a couple of quarterback hits. But there's depth along the defense. You're seeing Derek Barnes make plays. Will Harris today had a good game. Jack Campbell was making plays. I mentioned Lee McNeil, Jerry Jacobs with another interception. Kirby Joseph struggled a bit at times with his tackling, but, Cam Sutton does the job. Each and every week, you never hear Cam Sutton's name called. Why? Because he just shuts down the opponent. All right. It wasn't a perfect day from the defense. There were some guys open today. They gave up 24 points. I know some of it was late in garbage time, but just, again, exerting their will on the opponent and getting off to a nice fast start, just like they did in Green Bay. Everybody's doing the job right now. Everybody's doing the job. All right. Riley Patterson, same thing today. 6 for 6 on extra points. Right. I'm guilty. During the preseason, during the offseason, I said, what are they doing with the kicking situation? Why can't they figure this out? So far, Riley Patterson's been pretty damn good. Really good. But it starts with Goff. And to win a game like this today, 42-24, without Gibbs, without Amon-Ra St. Brown, your best offensive player, and without arguably your best defensive player, and Brian Branch, is pretty cool. All right? That's because there's depth there. There's guys stepping up. And next week, they're going to have to bring their A game against Tampa Bay. They're not going to be playing some patsy next week. Not the Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield or, the Bucks of Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks, but it's still a good team. And they're off a bye and they're playing pretty well. All right, let's hand out some game balls. We will do that coming up next. First, I want to tell you about LinkedIn Jobs. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. It is simple, everybody. Go on LinkedIn and sign up. All right. Put a free job post on LinkedIn Jobs. It's awesome. Use that purple hashtag that says we're hiring, and that gets more people to see in your frame, your LinkedIn profile, to spread the word that you are hiring. They got simple tools like screening questions to make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. Post your job for free. Go to linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Post-game pod right here on Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network. Please tell your friends about us. Subscribe on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Detroit 42, Carolina 24 today. Lions take care of business at Ford Field. 2 tough road games coming up next. Tampa Bay next week. Baltimore the week after. How about Baltimore choking today against the Steelers and losing on the road against Pittsburgh in what was an ugly game down there at Acrisure Stadium. 42-24 Lions today. Let's hand out some game balls. #1, Jared Goff. It's a lock. All right. 3 touchdown passes, a touchdown run as well from 1 yard out. 4 touchdowns on the day for Jared Goff. Just solid. Just running this offense to perfection. And even with number 14 out, Goff with a passer rating of 132.4. David Montgomery gets a game ball as well. $109 on the ground and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 2 touchdowns today, 3 catches, 47 yards. He gets a game ball. All Sam Laporta is doing is making big plays. Defensively, Alex Anzalone with 11 tackles. Aiden Hutchinson with the interception and the sack. Those guys get game balls as well. And the coaching staff doing a great job. Remember, Carolina came in here with Deuce Staley, Todd Wash, DJ Chark, all of them knew what the Lions are doing, right? They could have some intel on what Detroit was trying to do. And anything that Carolina attempted to do today, the Lions kind of snuffed out. Detroit did a good job. Looked like a 28-7, kind of taking the foot off the pedal a little bit. They can't do that, but we're nitpicking here. That and the Dan Campbell challenge of the Chark catch, which was a catch, and it was a stupid challenge. That's twice now in the last couple of weeks. The Tracy Walker interception that he dropped last week, and Campbell threw the red challenge flag, and we're like, why is he doing that? That can be cleaned up. Dan, got to clean that up. But other than that, hard to nitpick a 42-24 win for Detroit. Hopefully, Emmanuel Mosley is okay. Injured knee. Dan Campbell says it might not be looking good. The guy just got back and already injured his knee today. That just sucks. But hopefully they get Brian Branch back next week and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. Need all those guys back. But the Lions get the win today. 42-24. PFF grades tomorrow. Chris Myers will join us on Tuesday. We'll do the crossover on Thursday. It's been Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, here on a post-game edition. 42-24 Detroit over Carolina. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. We are back again tomorrow with another episode of Locked On Lions. Lions win again.